Good afternoon, folks. This is Roger Carden, the Spaceman, and I am here with Avery Wild, friend of the show from back in January of 2024. It's been 2 years since Avery joined us last, and we want to welcome him back to the show again. Hello, Avery.
Hello, Roger.
Avery, you got something big coming up this weekend, don't you? So tell our viewers about it.
So we're back around to that time of year for Ret-Con again. Ret-Con is a 3-day convention down in the RTP Raleigh-Durham area of North Carolina. We host, a variety of guests, mostly authors from the local areas, South Carolina, North Carolina, sometimes Virginia, sometimes even a little further afield. So local authors, lots of local craftspeople and business, like small business artisans in the dealer's room. This year last year we had some musicians. This year we've also got some musicians from the area, talking on all kinds of topics throughout the weekend, mostly in the regards of fandom and writing. But yeah, so it is our 5th year, I want to say. Time is not real in our post-COVID world. But it is our first rodeo. Let's put it that way.
And from the time we talked to you last, you made a big move.
I sure did. So since you all last talked to me, I have moved from the Raleigh area of North Carolina up to Wilmington, Delaware. That's right, Delaware, not Wilmington, North Carolina. So yeah, we're about, on a good day, if I can drive and not hit traffic, I can get down there in about 6.5 hours. But you never don't hit traffic outside of DC. So
Well,
probably 7.5 hour drive down for the weekend. Did it last year, despite the weather. Getting ready to geared up to do that again this upcoming Thursday.
well, awesome. We look forward to seeing you at the convention, meeting all our friends once again, and hanging out.
Same. I look forward to this time of year, both because I'm running my convention, but also socially, I get to see all the people I haven't seen in a long time.
Well, that's good. Cons are like family. You see
Oh
the
yeah.
same people over and over, and you look forward to it, and you wonder how their beards have changed.
Oh yeah. Mine has gotten as long as as it's gotten, and I'm probably sticking with it. I can almost braid mine now.
You should do it. You should do it.
We have some friends up here that we go to Ren fairs with, and so I think next Ren fair season, my hope is that I can braid some beads into it, or possibly some other trinkets into it.
My brother is taking his grandson to a Viking festival we have here in North Carolina now. And he ordered this wolf head thing to wear. So it would not surprise me if you braided beads into your beard.
Yeah, I don't know where it is right now. We've got so much in closets, but for one of the ones we did last year, actually for both of the ones we did last year, my husband Xander made, effectively it's a flower crown, but it's like fall foliage that I wear on my head, and it's got two deer antlers, small ones. They're not real. They're obviously craft. But so effectively, I have this little outfit I wear that's like a forest spirit, or like a, not quite a full on satyr because I don't have the legs and the hooves and things like that, but like kind of channeling that kind of woodland fairy or fae creature. So I think braiding some beads or some shiny things, or even like little bits of like bone into the even flowers or like fall foliage, could all work. Just no glitter, because the glitter never comes out. It's just, you at that point you just live in glitter.
So has there been anything else cool you've been doing while you've been prepping for this year's con?
Um, Lots of learning in the area that we've moved to. Traveling a little, so because Delaware is such a small state, it's very easy to get to about four or five other states, depending on how far afield you want to go, within a very short span of time. So we've done a fair few day trips up into Pennsylvania. We did a day trip up to New York to meet Chuck Tingle. For those who are familiar with what a Chuck Tingle is, he is a delight to meet in person. But yeah, we drove up to New York for that. Just yeah, lots of getting used to the area, kind of those kinds of day trips down to the beach. Um, some camping trips, things like that.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
in regards to Ret-Con, like because I'm here now, I do some of the businessy sides of things, paperwork and stuff like that, and then I kind of save it up for when I'm in person because I'm one of the people who actually really enjoys doing that in-person networking with the guests and things like that. Whereas some of the other people on my board are much less social that way. We all have our skills.
No, I understand. I understand. Janet and I are just, she is the garrulous introvert, and I am the shy extrovert. So, I go to a convention and I get all energized after I break the ice with people. Janet goes
Mhm.
to a convention and that she's, all over the place, Miss Social Butterfly, and then it just drains her. So,
Yeah.
no, I understand that. And it's such an interesting concept about the way the geek community is like that. It's because you've got this mix of people and it's great to see everybody come together. And speaking of coming together,
Yeah.
Ret-Con has a charity for the first time. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so friends of the convention had who's been helping out in smaller ways for the years previous to this, wanted to get more involved this year, and he had approached the board, mainly some friends he has on the board, to run a charity auction this year. So for the first year ever, Ret-Con will have an official charity auction at the event. I believe it's Saturday evening. I could pull the schedule up to check, but I'm fairly sure we kept it on Saturday evening. And the charitable organization that we will be benefiting is called Equality North Carolina. Obviously, they are a local North Carolina based organization that helps with. I'm always a little weird on how to explain these kinds of things because everybody has their mission statements, but effectively, they're making sure that rights aren't being violated, especially among the most marginalized people in the state. So, people of color, LGBTQ folks. Um, I'm not sure if they filter into disabled folks because there are so many different organizations that kind of specifically work with that subset of the population. So I feel like they kind of realized their work was more geared towards yeah, mainly people of color and that intersection with the LGBTQ community. But they do really good work in the local community. So I was really excited when he came to us, not only with this desire to help out, but also already having picked an organization that Ret-Con felt very strongly aligned with our own mission.
As a native North Carolinian who's native to the Triangle, which means that I'm an odd duck, I really appreciate the fact that the team from Ret-Con has brought us our own local literary convention. We've tried in the past, but nothing has stuck. And I'm glad that Ret-Con seems to have the staying power.
I'm really hopeful. Having some folks that are, again, not, it's no one in this organization's first rodeo, right? We've all been involved in other convention events. A lot of the members of my board are old UNCG folks, so they were involved with old StellarCon. And then, some of us were involved with a kind of Ret-Con's is the spiritual successor in a lot of ways to a Logicon, which also ran in the Raleigh-Durham area for a fair few years. I think it got 8 or 9. I can't. Time's not real.
Oh, you're telling me after the pandemic, I can't even keep straight what day it is.
It's not real. I'm not sure how it's 2026. I don't know where that time went.
Well, it seems like just yesterday that my hair was all brown.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, so it's been nice to have something. I too cross my fingers that it will have longevity. You never know, right? I feel like, especially when you're talking about a nonprofit organization, you're always right on that precipice, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's true. It's true. And volunteers are hard to find, especially dedicated ones.
Yeah.
So, folks from the Spaceman, support your local con.
Yes, support your local cons. They are insanely important in so many ways. And if you're coming to Ret-Con and you want more information on how to support your local cons, we will have a panel on the importance of local conventions, as we usually do. So definitely don't be afraid to check out that panel if you're going to be at the convention, because we can tell you all about why they're important and how they impact the local nerd society and keep people connected, especially, again, within a I always hesitate to say post-pandemic, because obviously COVID is still, out there doing its thing, and it will be probably just like forever now. But the idea is, in a world where we're back out and doing things again and able to connect again, after the year and a half of not really being able to, at least not being able to in the same ways we were used to. That connection is something we lost for a little while. Not to get too deep, right? But we lost that human connection in a lot of ways. Our circles got a lot smaller, because we were only really spending time with those people that we were closest to, or that we trusted the most, or you had to kind of keep it tighter, right? You had to stay in these smaller groups. And so as we've kind of come back out from that, it's been hard to grab that, right?
Right.
It's like we all lost the practice, right? We stopped having to do that kind of in-person connection in a lot of ways. And so I think for a lot of us, we're realizing how much we need it as this time has all passed. We're realizing just how much we need those in-person connections to another person, right?
Right.
And
Right.
so it's a nice way to kind of scratch that itch, so to speak, right?
Right. Well, to paraphrase Caesar from Planet of the Apes, nerds together strong. And I really believe that. So,
I do as well. I do as well.
all right. Well, Avery, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, especially this week with the convention coming up on Saturday. And as always, we've enjoyed talking with you, and we look forward to seeing you and Xander on Friday.
Yep, we'll see you on Friday. I'm looking forward to seeing you and everyone else, and hopefully I'll get a little time to relax and actually catch up with people. All right. Bye, folks. Thanks for listening today.
All right. This is the Spaceman, and I will see you next week.